Yep. Hello and welcome to the best football show. I'm Brian Baldinger. You can find me across all social media at Baldy NFL, X, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, Facebook. I'm out there. And you can find this show by downloading your free Odyssey app and finding the best football show, liking it, subscribing it, hitting that button, telling your friends about it, commenting. We love it. We're growing this thing. This is just a look back at Tuesday. We like to think about this show as let's take a look at 5 games. Tuesday's takeaways. We're going to take a look at 5 games that we just saw in week 2. And I think the first one is the statement that Seattle made in Pittsburgh, because they physically beat the Steelers up. Especially on their defensive side of the ball. Aaron Rodgers did not have a good game. Aaron Rodgers got hit way too often and got hit hard. And when you watch this Seattle did the same thing to San Francisco the first week. They just didn't come out on top. They didn't make the play at the end of the game. But when you look at what Leonard Williams is doing in his 13th year, like somehow that guy is getting better and better. But he sets the table up front. But it's Byron Murphy right now. It's Derek Hall. It's Jaron Reed. It's Boye Mafe. Like, you just pick a guy. Like, they are 7 deep on the defensive front, and they got after the Steelers. Now, it was a very tight game. It was a 14-14 game in the third quarter, so they were battling. It was close, but I thought the way that Sam Darnold played on the other side of the ball, the way they got Kenneth Walker going. I thought they controlled that side of the ball too, pushed the Steelers around quite a bit in the run game. And I don't know, maybe somebody that watched that game saw differently. I didn't see TJ Watt or Alex Highsmith around Sam Darnold very much. Like, they did a good job of getting after them. And so I thought Seattle made a real statement. They lost just a nail biter week 1 at home to San Francisco. So they go on the road to the East Coast. Long trip for anybody. And you go into Acrisure Stadium and you make that statement. And you make Aaron Rodgers coming off a 4-touchdown pass game against the Jets the week before. And you made him like he could not get out of the pocket. He couldn't escape. He couldn't make the type of throws that he made against the Jets. They wouldn't let him. So congratulations to Seattle. And I can't say enough about Big Cat Williams. He's as good as any defensive tackle in this this whole league right now. Like, he just seems like he gets thicker, but he's just throwing people around. Just a dominant player. Let's go to the second game here. Denver at Indianapolis. I played for the Colts, and really it's one of the great reclamation projects through only 2 weeks. But Danny Dimes is Indiana Jones. I know that name is out there, so let's use it. Indiana Jones. I like it. His first 2 games. Okay. First game against Miami. We know they're not a very good team. You go, okay, good start. Denver is a very good defense, a very talented defense. They got after Cam Ward the first week. They led the league in sacks a year ago. They throw a bunch of coverages out there. The thing that was amazing was they treated Patrick Surtain like he was just a guy. They went right at him. I saw 4 completions from Daniel Jones against tight coverage of Patrick Surtain. And it was Tyler Warren. It was Pittman. They did not shy away from going after last year's Defensive Player of the Year. It was very impressive. Now, Denver broke down in coverage quite a few times. In fact, this is an amazing stat. In the first, let's think about this. We like to chart explosive plays, right? 20 yards or more in the passing game, 12 yards or more in the run game. In the first half, Daniel Jones had 3 40-plus yard pass plays. You get a 40-yard pass play in this league, you're scoring 95% of the time, all right? They had 3 of them. One of them, the first one was to Tyler Warren, off play, a very well-designed play by Shane Steichen. They motioned Tyler Warren from a tight end spot with Mo Alley Cox to the backfield, looked like a power pistol formation. Daniel Jones in shotgun. You got the J train behind him, and here's Tyler Warren. And they fake it to to Jonathan Taylor, and they leak Tyler Warren through the line, and the linebackers are all biting up to stop Taylor on the play action, and Warren gets behind him. He leads the team in receptions right now. He's averaging over 14 yards a catch. Tyler Warren has been a beast, but Danny Jones is the story. He's one of the top stories in this whole league. We've seen Sam Darnold do it, go to some bad places, chased out in New York, injuries, and now the year he had last year and the year he's having so far this year. And then obviously Baker in a bad spot in Cleveland, bounces around the league, and now he's taking care of business in Tampa. Could Danny Jones be that next reclamation project out of a bad organization and get in the right spot and do these things? It's a good team around him. Young offensive line, Bortolini at center, Gonsalves at right guard, Big Q, at left guard. They got Braden Smith's been there a while at right tackle. They got a young offensive line. But Daniel Jones, the thing that it's one thing, play action, okay, you get the defense to bite, throw it here, and you throw it there. Hey, the guys put the ball where it's got to be put, low and away from a safety driving on a crosser. Like the touch and the accuracy has it's been amazing to me. He's completing over 70% of his passes, averaging 9.3 yards per attempt. If you average 9.9 yards per attempt or more, you at the end of the season, you're probably going to lead the league in yards per attempt. All right. I mean, that statistic is very telling. It means they're getting some deep shots. You're getting some big pass plays. But he's completing a high percentage, hadn't turned the ball over. Indiana Jones. It's a great story. They play Tennessee this week on the road. First road game. So we'll see. That's a good front by Tennessee. Get ready. And the other thing was last week, Indiana Jones, he got hit right here by Benito, by Zach Allen. I mean, he took his shots and he stayed in there and still delivered accurate balls. So congratulations to the Colts and their fast start. They've been trying to replace Andrew Luck now for, 7 years, something like that. Maybe they've got their guy. It's early. We're still in September. We'll see how it goes. Third game I want to get to is Philly and Kansas City. I was there at Arrowhead on Sunday, and here's the deal. Like, I call the Eagles offense, and it's tongue in cheek. I'm not making fun of anybody there, but it's the ambient offense. It will put you to sleep. However, there is a method to what Jalen Hurts is doing, and I'm sure a lot of people watched the little interchange at the end of the game between Chris Jones of the Chiefs and Jalen Hurts. And Chris Jones is like, you couldn't even get 100 yards. And Jalen Hurts is like, I don't care. I really don't care. We're 2-0. Like, I think he's 15-1 in his last 16 starts. Something crazy, right? But here's the deal. They haven't turned the ball over. They've committed 3 penalties in 2 games. They have no fear on 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 8 of running the ball and punting. They've got a great kicker in Jake Elliott, good from long distances, 2 50-plus yard field goals in that game in Kansas City. And as long as the score is close or they have a lead, they are not going to throw the ball and put the ball in harm's way. They took 4 deep shots against Kansas City. It wasn't like they didn't try. And a couple of them were against max blitzes. They did a good job picking up the blitzes, but they got the one big play. They're up 13-10. It's a max blitz coming right at Jalen Hurts, and he throws a jump ball to Devontae Smith, 28 yards, down inside the 5. They end up scoring, go up 20-10. It was really impressive. So right now, here's a great stat through 2 weeks. There's 7 teams right now that have not turned the ball over yet. Colts were one of those teams, all right? And the combined record of those 7 teams that have not turned the ball over is 13-1, okay? Jalen Hurts takes care of the football. And it might not look flashy. It might not make anybody's fantasy teams, get excited, but they win football games. And it's a formula. I mean, 3 penalties in 2 games. I see a Giants left tackle get 4 penalties on 1 drive. 3 penalties. So clean game. And then you look at the young players in Philly, Makuba, right? You look at Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. Like, open field tackling is just as good as any in the league. Now, on the other side, Kansas City, they have problems. Obviously, Travis Kelce, couldn't find the handle on the ball at the goal line. Makuba intercepts it, goes 40 yards. Changed the whole game. I mean, if Travis catches that ball like he has for 13 years, the Chiefs are up 17-13. So I don't want to just write the Chiefs off. They had a chance to win the game. And probably Kelce catches that the next 9 times at the goal line. But they are having a hard time in 2 areas right now. They're having a hard time running the football. Mahomes has been the leading rusher 2 straight weeks in a row. That is not a good formula for Patrick or for this whole league. If your quarterback is consistently leading your team in rushing, it's not a good sign. That means he's scrambling. He's not running the offense like they're giving up on plays. The design of the offense isn't good. And your quarterback is probably going to get hurt at some point. All right, so be careful when you see, when quarterbacks just want to keep running. They're having 2 areas in Kansas City in the offense. Their running backs have not been good. And maybe it's time for their young kid out of SMU, Smith, to take over or be given a bigger chance. And then the other thing is they can't get explosive plays. They had Tyquan Thornton wide open a couple of times, and they just missed him. And they got the one big play to Thornton, but that's really been the issue the first 2 weeks of the season. Thornton has created 2 of the biggest plays. Now, Travis caught a couple plays where he caught the ball and ran with it, and they had 20-plus yard plays. But really, the deep ball has been almost non-existent in Kansas City, and something to kind of track. Let's get to the next game, the Giants and Dallas. In the history, the Giants have a 101-year history. 101 years they've been playing football. They were the Potsdam Firebirds, right? 1925. Anyways, there's only been one quarterback in their history that have thrown for more yards than what Russell Wilson just did on Sunday. And that was Eli in 2012 against Tampa. Threw for, I think, 510 yards. Russell Wilson threw for 450 yards. They talked about all offseason and all summer, we need more explosive plays in our offense. Well, they had 7 plays on Sunday of 20 yards or more in the passing game, and 3 of them went for touchdowns. And it went to Darius Slay, it went to Wan'Dale Robinson, and it went to Malik Neighbors. And Russell was cooking. He was 30 of 41, 450 yards. Did have the interception late in the game, which didn't help them. But still, he was aggressive all game. And he went from not being able to get the Giants in the end zone week 1 against Washington to just blowing it open. I would say this about Dallas. Their offensive line played great. Really good. Tyler Booker, through 2 weeks, has been outstanding. They lost their starting center, Cooper Beebe. Backup comes in, plays well. Tyler Smith played great. I thought they protected Dak. I thought they ran the ball really well. Javonte Williams had 97 yards rushing. Miles Sanders ran for a 4-yard touchdown right up the middle. I thought the way that they ran the ball, using Sanders, using Kevontae Turpin, using Javonte, I thought the way that they ran it was really, really good. And the game came down, there's 19 seconds left in the game. The Giants have a 37-34 lead. And, Brandon Aubrey is on the other side. The guy's got a 64-yard field goal in the books already. I think he kicked one from 70 in pregame and in preseason games. Like, everybody knows, if you get the ball to the 50-yard line, like, that guy is good. I mean, I'm critical. I'm critical here because these games come down to a play. I mean, the Giants are up 37-34. They've got the lead. Neighbors just scored 19 seconds ago, and they play this soft shell cover 2 defense. The safeties are out at the numbers. They're so wide. The middle of the field's wide open. Dane Belton and Karake, like, they're standing back 15 yards. And Jake Ferguson runs, 16, 18 yards right down the middle of the field, and Dak hits him, and they're in field goal range. Like, it's just too easy. You're better off pressing the receivers. And, okay, if the ball goes over your head, you get beat. But it's a lower percentage throw. And a touchdown does get you beat. But they know what Aubrey can do on the other side. You just can't give them 18 yards like that. I was very critical of that. All right. Last game here on Tuesday takeaways. And by the way, Russ is not dead. We'll see what happens against Kansas City this week. We'll see what the Giants can do. Last game, we saw it last night, Tampa into Houston. And, Houston's got a talented defense. They've got the highest paid cornerback in football, and Stingley. They've got one of the great edge rushers, and Will Anderson, and, Daniil Hunter. I mean, they're talented. Man, Baker goes 11 plays, 80 yards. They're down 19-14. They need a touchdown to win. There's 2:04 to go when they get the ball at their own 20-yard line. And dang if Baker doesn't take him 11 plays, 80 yards, and Rachaad White, runs for the game winner from the 2-yard line. They converted a 4th and 10. Baker saw the blitz, saw the man coverage behind it, and took off and ran 15 yards to extend the play when it's 4th and 10. Chance to knock him out right there. But he made one good decision, one good throw. Mike Evans on a dig route over the middle. The throw on the outside, a couple throws to Cade Otton. Like, it was just the way you practice it. They call it shake and bake time. And that's what he did. Like, that 2-minute drill was vintage, and, on the other hand, Houston, who scored also, they couldn't convert on a 2-point conversion. And that was the difference in the game. But take Baker 2 weeks in a row now. 2 weeks in a row in Atlanta, week 1. Last night in Houston, they went down the field to win the game. Ibuka last week, Baker this week, along with Rachaad White. It's impressive. And that was, by the way, we saw Tristan Wirfs, their all-pro left tackle, on the sideline, not playing yet. Their starting center, Graham Barton, playing left tackle. Their starting left guard, Ben Bredeson, playing center. Michael Jordan coming in and playing left guard. They lost their right tackle during the game. Charlie Heck had to go in there and play right tackle for him. The only guy that was in the spot that is the designated offensive line that started a year ago is Cody Mauch at right guard. Everybody else has been moved around. But all you get is great execution from Baker in that offense. And it was impressive to watch. That, my friend, is Tuesday Takeaways. I want to thank you for tuning in and watching. We'll be back here tomorrow, and we'll be back here Thursday. We'll be here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this year. And if there's huge news on a Monday or Friday, we'll come in and we'll talk about the news when it gets big. But that's been Tuesday Takeaways. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Look forward to talking to you tomorrow.